What's up, sports bettors? Looks like we have 7 NBA games today, and you can see lines are already on the move. So the Hawks just moved from plus 145 to plus 150 on Tipico. You can see lines continuing to move towards the 76ers. And I'm going to be showing you 3 sharp NBA bets that I locked in. So again, it's a little earlier in the day, but sometimes when sportsbooks first post lines, you're able to follow the line movements and find discrepancies, find profitable betting opportunities. So the first play I ended up going with, which you can see right here, is the 76ers -4 on the point spread against the Wizards. So I found this bet on the OddsJam arbitrage page, and what's really cool about OddsJam is you can browse odds for free for any sport, right? Any sport you want to look at, so college basketball, NFL, any game you want to look at, any market you want to look at, it's completely free to browse odds, right? And what makes sports betting so fascinating is all these bookmakers have different odds. So what you're going to notice right here is most bookmakers have the point spread for the 76ers Wizards game at 4.5. You can see right here on most sports books, the 76ers are -4.5 on the spread at -110 odds. Bet Online has them -108, Betfred -105, Betway -118. So it's kind of split, but for the most part, the market consensus is that the Philadelphia Sixers should be 4.5 point spread favorites. But what I ended up finding on the OddsJam arbitrage page is WynnBet has the spread at 4. So they're half a point off from the rest of the market, and they're giving you plus money. So this is an arbitrage bet with Pinnacle, right? And arbitrage betting just means there's such a big line discrepancy that you could make risk-free money placing a bet on WynnBet on the 76ers -4, and then on the Wizards +4 on Pinnacle. That is called arbitrage betting. It means there's such a big difference in the sportsbook odds that you could bet on one side and the other side and make a risk-free profit. And here you can see we're getting plus money on both sides. And again, if you're new to arbitrage betting, it's a little hard because the lines can move quickly, but we have some great tutorial videos on it that I recommend watching if you want to learn about making risk-free money sports betting. But also, whenever arbitrage exists, you know that there has to be a profitable bet, right? There has to be a profitable, sharp bet. If you can make risk-free money betting on both sides, the 76ers -4 and the Wizards +4, then by definition, one of these bets has to be profitable. So all I'm doing is I'm looking at the odds and trying to tease out where is the value. And it's pretty clear that WynnBet is the one off from the rest of the market, right? They're the only sportsbook with the spread, for the most part, set at -4, right? We're getting -4 at plus money. We have Tab giving you -111. Pinnacle has this -117 with only 12 cents in market width. So the sharpest bookmaker in the world is pricing this 17 cents away as a heavy favorite, right? They have lines heavily juiced towards the 76ers -4 on the sharpest bookmaker, right? They're pricing this at -117. And then you can see right here, on Bet99, they have the 76ers -4 at -120. Every other sportsbook has the line only set at plus or minus 4.5. So it's pretty clear just looking at the data, looking at the market, that there's a lot of value being able to get the 76ers -4 at plus 100 because all bookmakers have this heavily juiced, right? Pinnacle has the 76ers -4 favored, as well as Bet99. And the rest of the sports books, they have the line, they have the 76ers as even bigger favorites at plus or minus 4.5. So we're getting a ton of value being able to get the 76ers -4 at plus money. So I locked in this play. And again, I'll be tracking profit and loss kind of for all my plays. I've been doing this since the start of football season, and we're up 29.7K. So it's been a pretty good ride. And again, the whole point is just to show you the power of math, the power of data in sports betting, right? There's not a lot of profitable betting opportunities, but because OddsJam is constantly updating, millions of odds in real time, it will show you, these line discrepancies that make it very possible for you to tease out where there's value, where there's edges in bets that are actually profitable. So 76ers -4 for $2,000. That's the first play I'm on. Next play I'm on is a player prop. So once again, we're not looking to get rich quick sports betting. We're looking for enough value to beat the vig, beat the juice. And the play I ended up going with right here is in the Kings-Hornets game, Harrison Barnes over 1.5 made threes at +126 on FanDuel. So you can see my bet right here. They only took a maximum of $75. Again, these sports books, especially if you're profitable off them, will have max betting limits. So you can see, for example, they're saying for Gordon Hayward, over 2.5 made threes, I can only wager 126.60. So they only let me bet $75 on this play in Kings Hornets. Harrison Barnes over 1.5 made threes. And again, the reason we like this bet so much is just value. Caesars has this -101, Unibet +110. No other bookmakers even giving us better than +110. Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker, they're all the way down at +104. We're getting this +126. Right? So the way you want to treat sports betting is you essentially have all these data points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all these sports books telling you, hey, here's where we think the line should be set. So what we're doing as a sharp bettor is we're taking all this market information and forming a consensus, right? Based on all the odds in the market, it's pretty clear that getting +126 is ridiculous value. So all OddsJam is doing, once again, is it's taking all of these player prop lines and then the EV page, which are free to browse. Again, it's free to browse odds on OddsJam for player props, anything you want to look at, the screen for looking at NFL lines, following the line movements, that's all free. But all this EV page does is it takes all the information and says, hey, here's the biggest line discrepancies, the most interesting bets to look at. Right? Obviously, you don't have time to go through, the millions of odds on FanDuel. Like, this is literally just for one game. You can see how much different stuff you can even bet on in terms of player props just for one game. And this is just one sports book, right? There's a lot of stuff you can bet on. As a sharp bettor, you can't be looking through all these odds as they move, they update in real time, right? So what OddsJam does is it just helps you track these line movements in real time and show you where the value is, where are sportsbooks slipping up, right? So it's just rational sports betting. When every bookmaker is pricing something in over-under at, over-under 1.5, +105 is kind of the average, you can get it +126. That's clearly a bet you want to be on, right? That's clearly a bet with an edge. So you can see right here, that's the bet in bold with a circle around it. So OddsJam is pretty simple. If you don't care about the math and you're just like, I want to make money sports betting, I want bets with a profit margin, it's just the bet in bold, as you can see right here, with a circle around it. Harrison Barnes over 1.5 made threes at +126 on FanDuel. That's the play you want to be on. Right? So you can see Pinnacle, they're pricing this at +104. And they have the other side of the market. So they're giving you +104 on the over. And then they have -138 on the under. So if we remove the vig, we remove the juice from Pinnacle, the sharpest sportsbook in the world, the true odds, the true line would be +118. We're getting +126 on FanDuel. So we're beating the no vig odds of the market, right? We're beating the market. And beating the market is all that matters long term in terms of making money sports betting. It's all about beating the closing line, beating the market, and having an edge. So this is definitely a play we want to be on. Another way I like to think about it is it's kind of like if there were all these stock exchanges, they're all telling you, hey, the price of this stock should be, $200, $225, $205. You have all these different data points. All these sports books are setting odds, they're updating their models, they're taking bets, they're tweaking lines. So it's kind of like you have all these stock exchanges telling you, hey, this stock should be worth like $200 to $225. And then just on FanDuel, you can buy that stock for $150. Well, it seems like a no-brainer because there's all these other stock exchanges telling you the stock should be worth $200 and you can buy it for $150. So you're just looking for value, right? As a sharp bettor, you're never going to win every bet. Like even if we go to my bets from yesterday, you can see we won Reeves, we lost Porter. As a sharp sports bettor, you're not winning every single bet. That's not how you make money sports betting. But because you consistently have an edge and you're always looking for value, you win in the long run. So next play I went with after this Harrison Barnes play where we're getting a ton of value at plus 126, enough to beat the vig, beat the juice, and have a 2.67% profit margin, is under 219.5 in the Wizards game. So what you'll notice is most sports books, they have the line set at over under 217.5, 218, 218.5, 219, 219.5. So once again, there's a lot of discrepancies between bookmakers when sportsbooks are first posting odds for the 76ers Wizards game, and you can look at any game. And what you're going to notice is FanDuel, they opened the total the highest, right? They have the over-under at 219.5. So I ended up playing that under 219.5, which is a positive EV play with a 2.1% profit margin. So we're betting $500 with a 2.1% profit margin. So our bet has 1050 in EV. So all that means is if you tried to give me, a $5 bill for my bet, I'd tell you no, my bet's worth $10, right? 1050. I staked $500 on it, and the profit margin is 2.1%. So the market's constantly moving, so you have to refresh OddsJam, but all OddsJam is doing is pointing out to you like, hey, FanDuel's setting the total, the OU, at 219.5. Every other sportsbook is pricing this like minus 120 to minus 140. So it seems like we're getting a lot of value on FanDuel at minus 110. You can see kind of the market consensus is that the over-under should be set at 218 or 218.5. Right? Most sportsbooks have the over-under at 218.5. Bet Online, a really sharp offshore sportsbook, has the total set at over-under 218.5 at minus 120. They have the under 218.5 at minus 120. We're getting under 219.5, a full point better at 10 cents better of odds, minus 110. So this is ridiculous value on this play on FanDuel. We're using all this market information, treating OddsJam as our Bloomberg terminal, teasing out value, what are bets where we're beating the vig, beating the juice. When you're betting at minus 110 odds, you only need to win. People always think pro sports bettors are winning on point spreads like 70% of the time. Absolutely not. When you're betting at minus 110 juice, like this play I just locked in, you only have to win 52.4% of your bets to break even. So sharp and pro sports bettors are winning on point spreads and totals, typically like, 55, 56% of the time, 54, whereas recreational bettors are winning 50% of the time. So that difference between winning 50 and 55% of the time is literally going broke sports betting and, becoming a professional sports bettor. So these differences, finding these spots with value, it makes all the difference in the long run. So hopefully this video was helpful, and let's make some money.